Here's my review for The Aviator, the Martin Scorsese starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Howard Hughes movie. I have to admit that I saw this movie about 7 years ago when it first came out in the theater. I liked it a lot. I watched it now and it's like one of those films where I liked it even more now. One, I think I'm a lot smarter now because it's a very political movie. And forget about the Howard Hughes things for a second. It's basically a plot about monopoly and new businesses where basically Pan Am is monopolizing the air system. Which is, if you look at society, every new business like the car manufacturing to the internet with Microsoft, there's always a cause of monopoly going on in these businesses who kind of figure things out the quickest. Even with Google now and the search engine network, where basically if you're ahead of the curve, you will form a monopoly, and you want to keep that monopoly as quickly as possible because we're all greedy bastards. And basically, it's Howard Hughes kind of like trying to take down Pan Am, and that's sort of like, of course, that's the third plot of the film. But I think I miss all this political espionage and this kind of like give and take of business because 7 years ago I knew nothing about business, and now I own a business, so it seems like I'm a lot more up to date. And plus, also as well, Scorsese is just such a cinematic director. He makes like any kind of scene, even with two talking heads, so cinematic in its structure, and he always sets up every scene in a kind of cool fashion where he tells you what's going on thematically, but he also tells you what's going on with the times and with the characters going on emotionally at the same time. Like he's just a fantastic filmmaker, and if any film that I know they had to give him an Oscar last decade because the guy made so many great films. This film is just so much better than The Departed, and that's what won him Best Picture. The Aviator is just a pretty damn good epic, and Leonardo DiCaprio is kind of special in playing Howard Hughes because he kind of nails him in so many different ways and it's such a hard role because there's so many emotional arcs going on, and in terms of like people like winning like awards in terms of like best actor and things like that, of course, like Daniel Day-Lewis is brilliant, was playing Lincoln, but he really only has a few emotional arcs going on. He's stoic in his nature. Where if you look at this film, Howard Hughes is like all over the place emotionally in terms of arcs and where he needs to go, and he's making an epic 3-hour movie too. So DiCaprio's on set for 6 months. Him playing this role and being in every scene, of course, as well. And showing up, and of course they're shooting out a sequence is very tough for this actor. Like, let's give the guy some credit. This is a great film that hopefully will stand a test of time. Talking to you about 20th century America with one of the guys who basically tried to like raise the bar a little bit, and of course was eccentric for doing so. And of course Kate Blanchett won for playing, basically doing a spot-on impression of Katharine Hepburn for a best actor. But look at DiCaprio. Maybe he should have won Best Actor here. That's my review.